The Impella helps your patient survive the storm. Now it's time to safely wean your patient off the Impella. My name's Leah, been a CVSU nurse for 18 years. Let's chat about how to safely do that. So your patients had the Impella in for a while, and now they're doing so much better. Hopefully all their pressors are off. Hopefully all their inotrope drips are off, and it's time to take that Impella out. So we don't just walk in, turn the machine off, and take it out. What we're going to do is be communicating with our cardiologist and talking through what that looks like for our patient. So all orders to wean should come from a cardiologist, the interventional cardiologist that put it in, most likely, or his partner or her partner. And so when we're weaning the Impella, we'll be going down by P levels. Usually whenever a patient's super unstable, we're going to see the P level like P8, P7, somewhere up there. And then hopefully we're going to be able to go like P5, maybe even P4. Every facility's policy is going to be a little bit different, but usually most facilities will tell you that you should be able to sit at like P3 for a couple of hours before getting ready to pull it. Some even say P2. So what we would do is we would be turning it down per cardiology order. But the big part that's a nursing implication is that if we have to increase our inotrope drips, increase our vasopressors, even if an ICU intensivist is managing those things, we should be communicating that with the interventional cardiologist if I'm having to make those changes. That's a sign that the patient's not really tolerating weaning the Impella. So we need to communicate with them if they're planning to take that out. Hey, after I cut from P7 to P5, if I leave it at P5, I'm having to, turn this drip up. The patient's not really tolerating that. My map is falling. And they're going to let you know, hey, yeah, I feel okay with that. Or, hey, put it back up to P7 or whatever was at before. The other thing is if you start as you're weaning to see signs of pulmonary edema, you're going to immediately let your provider know. My facility doesn't make us take a lactic acid during the weaning process, but if you do a lactic acid for some reason and it becomes elevated during that weaning process, you're going to want to let your provider know immediately, because all those could be signs that the patient's not tolerating weaning the Impella. And we want to let our provider know as soon as possible so that we can bump that P level back up or do whatever we need to do to get that patient more stable. Important thing to know, and I know I've said this in other videos, but it's super important. When you're weaning the Impella, you never turn the Impella to P0. P0 means that this huge foreign object in your body is completely still and not rotating and not moving, and you will get a clot. And sadly, that clot may break off and go to someone's brain. So you're never going to P0, only when you're actually pulling it, and at the very last second does it go to P0. So you're never P0, not even if your patient codes. P0 is a no-no unless you're actually taking the Impella out. So continue to follow along with this series, like and follow, save this video, and hopefully we can continue to talk all things Impella and CVICU.